let's switch over to the NFL as a whole. We discussed the Lions a little bit, but we know on your website you cover the whole NFL and you do a pretty good job. So I want to ask you this. Which player that's projected to be a top 10 guy? We know there's always fluctuation, but a guy that's kind of been a consensus top 10 pick. Which one of those guys do you have the most concern with? He's supposed to go early, but you're a little bit worried about him.
Am I allowed to say Winston?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Oh, man, count me out. Count me totally out. Last year, it was with Manziel. I was not on board with that at all. And this year, it's Winston. He scares me so much. I mean, it's not like it's just been one thing with Winston. It's been one thing after another ever since he's got on campus. Even when he was a redshirt, he was getting into trouble. And it's been consistent. Consistent issues. He's very charismatic. He's great in front of the camera. You listen to him talk, he sounds like a guy who's got all his ducks in a row, but he has consistently gotten into trouble. And beyond that, I worry about him on the field a little bit too. People don't talk about the fact that he threw 28 interceptions the past 2 years, 17 interceptions last year. That's a lot of interceptions for a player who played on a team with an outstanding offensive line, an outstanding running game, and a lot of weapons at wide receiver. I see why people like him. He's pro-ready. He fits the prototype. But there's just so many things with him that scare me off. And, you saw the pro day yesterday. He comes in out of shape, and it's just one thing after another with him. So I wouldn't take Winston, not in the top 10, and I wouldn't take him at all, really. That's how strongly I feel about this. I think Mariota is the best quarterback in this draft. I think he should be the number one pick. I see the potential in Winston, but if I'm an NFL GM and I'm risking my job, I'm risking my career for one guy, I don't think I could stick my neck out there for Jameis.
Man, it sounds like you're calling him a phony. He kind of had me going for a little bit there because, I mean, all the issues like you mentioned has been there. Then you watch him, like you say, he does have that charisma. His understanding of the playbook, the whole little deal he did with John Gruden, he kind of had me buying into the hype, but it sounds like you're not quite buying it. It's interesting. He's definitely going to be someone that we'll be watching, for the next few years to see if, the issues that have come up, are they going to resurface or, is he a changed man? So, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I think maybe I am. You're calling him a bit of a phony. That's
yeah, I just don't think he gets it. He's just one of those guys you don't understand. Put him in front of the camera, it's really amazing because he says all the right things.
Right.
And I think really he just doesn't understand what he's doing a lot of the time is wrong. Like I go back to that time when he was suspended for that one game. He shows up to the field in a full gear.
Right.
I just don't think he gets it, that a lot of the things he's doing, he paints the picture to me as somebody who's been kind of spoiled all his life. He's always been the best athlete. And now you got a little responsibility. He doesn't realize that you can't goof off. You can't jump up on the picnic table and yell certain things. He just doesn't get it right now. But maybe he will one day. I get why people are into him. I see the potential there, but I'm not buying it, man.
Sounds interesting. Jameis Winston. Nolan, not buying into the hype. I was starting to buy into it, but now you're convinced me. Maybe I'm just easily swayed, man. Now I'm starting to I'm having my doubts about him based on what you said. So I'm just going like the wind.
I just watched, he was on with Mariucci tonight on the NFL Network, and he's good, man. He's good in front of the camera. And on the field, man, in the clutch, you can't argue that he hasn't been great. He's only lost one career football game, so he could put it together. And you listen to him talk, and he definitely he's persuasive. But I'm scared, man. I can't do it.
Should be interesting. Time will tell. We got one more for you though. Then we're going to let you go. Appreciate the time you've spent with us.
I got all the time you need. All the time you need, man. I enjoy talking with you.
Oh, cool, man. Don't say that. I'll roll out like 16 more questions, man. No, but the one I got here is, so we talked about the guy, top 10 pick that you're concerned with. Let's reverse that. So give us a guy that's projected to be drafted in the later rounds, maybe a third-round pick or later. And although he's projected to go later, you think he's going to have a big impact in year one? Who do you got for that?
Let me give you a couple guys.
Sure.
One guy who's going to go on day 2, David Johnson, running back out of Northern Iowa. He really impressed me. I was down in Mobile for the Senior Bowl, and in my opinion, he was the best, one of the best running backs there. He's one of the best receiving running backs in this year's draft. So if you're looking for a running back who can really catch the ball, make plays on screens, and very comfortable as a receiver, I think David Johnson out of Northern Iowa, big-time producer in Division II. If you want to go back and watch the tape, watch the game against Iowa where I think he ran for over 150 yards, ran fast at the combine, low 4.4s. And that's even a guy the Lions might look at because obviously they have a need at running back. And that's when I talk about the depth of this year's running back class. You can come on round 3, maybe even round 4, and get a guy like Johnson who can really be a versatile threat out of the backfield. Another guy most people probably haven't heard of that is my deep sleeper is Trey McBride. He's a wide receiver out of William & Mary. I'm not going to try to describe him to you over the phone, but just go check him out. Go check out all his highlights. At the combine, he ran 4.41. He's been over 30 touchdowns in his career. He's 6'3", very fast, very fluid, big hands, and I think he's rising. I'd like to think of him as a sleeper, but I think people are starting to catch on right now. So if you're your favorite team, or maybe even think the Lions need a third receiver, Trey McBride out of William & Mary is someone I think in round 3 or 4 who could be a big-time steal.
Sounds interesting, man. Yeah, I think his hype is starting to, or his momentum is starting to pick up. Didn't know much about him coming in, but you're starting to hear his name more and more. But I still think he'll be there in the later rounds. Interesting pick there. I do think the Lions should go after another guy with some size too. You look at Calvin, and after that you got a lot of diminutive receivers to put it mildly. So you could add some more size. They obviously got the tall tight ends, but I would love to have another guy, big body, 6'3" or so, that can go in there and just give us that threat as Calvin gets older, as a complement to Calvin when Calvin's out. However you want to put it, I would love to have another big body out there. That's a little bit better than what we had with Chris Durham. So putting it mildly, hey, Nolan, we really appreciate this. Hopefully this isn't the last time. You guys are NFL draft geeks. I'm a draft geek myself. So, hey, hopefully we'll get a chance to have a few more conversations like this leading up to the draft and even after. Before we cut you loose, though, just tell everybody once again what's going on at NFLDraftGeek.com.
Oh, and thanks, man. It was enjoyable. NFLDraftGeek.com, NFLDraftGeek on Twitter. You go create your own mock draft. Go check out our 3-round mock draft. We're going to be updating that there real soon. Scouting reports. We get video highlights for the prospects. We give you in-depth scouting reports. And all of it, we try to do no advertisements. You don't have to pay, be an insider to do anything. And we're updating stuff every day. So go check it out. And then also, like I said, USA Today, the draft publication, we did a lot of stuff for that. So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. It's a fun time of year for football fans. We get to sit down and break these players down, and we have these debates. You've planted your Jameis Winston flag. I thought I planted my flag on being on his side, but maybe I'm easily swayed. You're starting to make me a little bit scared about him. So just a fun time, man. We appreciate you being with us. Like I said, you're always welcome. We'd love to have you back on behalf of PrideOfTrade.com, man. Appreciate it, Nolan.
Most definitely, man. Thank you for having me on. Look forward to talking again real soon, Jerry.
All right, sounds good.
Yes, sir.